get some extra damage onto this and also puts my greatsword in at 10. Look at the value, mate. Let's get a 7-point greatsword. And this is where Maddock is just shining above the rest. Alright, so what have we got in our Reckless Flurry deck? What is the point of it? Okay, so we've got great swords now, which are working with Megascopes. Megascopes are going to be these 10 for 4 cards. Great swords are going to, however, need to make sure they don't get removed straight away. So we need ways of boosting them above like the key removal ranges, like 4 to 5. Obviously 6 as well can still be removed with things like Parasite, but certainly 4 to 5 is the key range to get them out of. So we can put a great sword on the board and use a leader charge, and it's going to be at 7 straight away, which means we can then Megascope sorted, and then other damage is going to get it up to 10. But what if we don't want to use a leader charge? What if it's round 1, we just want to get these value cards in? How on earth can we get these great swords protected? And the key way, without using a leader charge, is going to be weather. So there's a few ways you can do that. You can use actually just the normal weather cards. Things like Torrential Rain is going to buff it by 2. Also Tears of Siren. Now you might be wondering, Specie, surely Tears of Siren is the way to go. It's a Skellige card, it's new. No, it's probably only worth 4 provisions in an alchemy deck because it has this alchemy tag and also gives you this Deafening Siren beast. In this though, we're at 13 units, we're somewhat uninteractive. I would actually say the extra turn of weather is going to be more valuable. We're not actually using any of those though. Ragnarok is another card you might want to definitely consider. When we were prepping for Freddy's Masters lineup, Ragnarok was in the Reckless Flurry deck. It's just not a deck we were particularly interested in bringing, but we did build the optimal version, or what we thought was the optimal version, just like we brought Anna in Nilfgaard. I feel like if Freddy brought Reckless Flurry, you would be seeing this card a lot more on the ladder. It's a 12-point card. It's non-interactive. I've decided not to go for it though and go for Avalak instead though, who was recently buffed. He is a body on the board, which is nice. He's also, you know, we're at the unit limit, so fitting in Avalak is kind of forced in this sense. But he's just more tempo, and the luxury of choosing Frost or Fog, as well as the Rain, if we're looking to buff our Greatsword, is going to be a really, really nice option to have. And the other way we're getting weather is with the main man, Maddock. Maddock is going to be the perfect way, working very similar to Ragnarok, where he's going to be dealing 3 damage to a card in the opposite row, meaning our Greatsword's going to come straight away in at 7, which is just perfect. Very, very difficult to remove, and that means we can play our Megascopes for 10 points. And of course, the beautiful thing is, there's a lot of options for Megascopes in this deck, because we've also got the Bear Witchers and the Fish Flappers. Now, why are we playing Fish Flappers in this one and not the Scar package? Well, it's quite simple. Portal Fish Flappers is worth including if you're already running lots of spells, which we're going to be doing, right? Rather than running Discard Package, we have no real other units at 4p we actually want to use. And as much as Discard Package is great, and I've actually been using it in a lot of my decks, in this particular deck, Portal is just a really big point slam card. It's also somewhat non-interactive because the Fish Flappers are so difficult to deal with. You damage them, they heal themselves up. So it's just perfect for this deck. It's working very, very similar to Totem. It's just a big tempo play. We've got Maxi to try and move our Portal if it's near the bottom of our deck, nearer to the top as well. That's going to be great. And obviously, if we can draw a Portal in our opening hand, we're going to thin the deck a lot. And it's just going to be really, really worth it in the long run. And yeah, so I've gone for 1 Northern Wind for Syndicate, there's a lot of it. A Moondust for Defenders. Double Bear Witcher, which is obviously fantastic with Quen. It's like kind of the best play in a non-devotion SK deck. I have gone for the Junod. There's some other options. I've still got the Heatwave, but as mentioned, like Ragnarok is definitely an option. Morkvog, Axie, Turgvi. Also like Jengi Threat in at 6. Are definitely cards you might want to consider playing in this deck. But I've decided to go for the Junod because he's a baller. He's really good at cleaning up defenders as well with like a leader charge and things like that. And yeah, I've gone for the double Gutting Slash as well, which you might be thinking that's kind of weird. You're playing Maddock. Why are you not playing like Red Haze? Why are you not playing, Falabomb, for example? Falabomb is a great card if you're using the 5p ships and hunters, but I'm not using hunters because I'm playing Portal Fish Flappers. The last thing you want to do is have Portal Fish Flappers, you play your portal, and then you, out of your second portal proc, you have, or trigger, the second card that comes out the portal is a hunter, because you don't get the order on it and it just comes in at 4 points, whereas a Fish Flapper gives you that big dick energy, your opponent's super intimidated. That's what we're looking for. So the reason I've gone for the Gutting Slashes over a bomb is simply because it's just a fantastic card. One of the biggest reasons I don't like playing Maddock and SK is because of the existence of both Gutting Slash and the Stunning Blow, because not many factions have as efficient 4 provision removal cards as Skellige does. But I've decided, as Okay, I've got Maddock, I'm playing bombs, but I'm still going to include the Gutting Slash just because there's actually a lot of 4P engines in the meta at the moment. I'm seeing a lot of Syndicate, for example, which is playing things like Tax Collector, Peaches as well. This Gutting Slash is going to be a lot more efficient at killing Peaches and things like that with leader charges compared to things like Dancing Stars and Red Haze. Might want to consider it. Another card you definitely might want to consider playing as well is a one-off Mardrome. Honestly, I think I'm going to play a one-off Mardrome just to show you guys the power of the Mardrome. The reason is we've got a couple of options with it. The Fish Flappers themselves are going to be gaining armor, so that's going to be great. And also, we can use it on our Quen as well. And you can also even use it offensively in some situations as a 3 damage removal. If your opponent's got a 3 strength card exactly, you can use it offensively, so that's quite cool as well. So I'm going to use a one-off Mardrome, a single Gutting Slash. The reason I do maybe lean more towards the Gutting Slashes is because we do want to be like somewhat uninteractive quite a lot of the time with this deck, and the Gutting Slash is going to be perfect for that. But having said that, we have Northern Wind, Moondust, Double D-Bomb, which are all that 4 damage removal range, so shouldn't be too important. You also might even want to just ditch the Gutting Slash and play a Red Haze, but having like up to 6 removal if you've got Bloodthirst, super relevant, and something that is going to be really, really good a lot of the time. So this is probably the best setup, I would say. Again, want to experiment. Mardrome is probably the most tempting card to add in as a one-off. Spores, if you're expecting to play a lot of Vi. Red Haze can be a great option as a one-off card for a bit of surprise value, and obviously you've got Maddock in there. Tears of Siren, I would probably steer away from in this one. I would honestly recommend going for one of the other weather cards, which I was trying these last night and they do feel good. In at 5 provisions, Stunning Blow is an option. You might want to ditch the Maddock entirely and play the Ragnarok, for example. I do think Maddock is just about worth it though, because of your ability to click the Maddock and in the same turn play a Greatsword, putting it in at 7 points. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Enchanted Armor. How could I have forgotten? Good for business. Enchanted Armor's just here for fun, to be honest. Yeah, you probably shouldn't play this. You should probably just play Magic Lamp. But think about it. Enchanted Armor on a Bear Witcher, yeah, is a ridiculous amount of carryover. Because it gives it armor and points. And the armor just turns this into like a juicer card. You get me? We didn't even touch on it. It's just for fun, to be honest. Don't play this unless you're a legend and you want to have some fun. I really haven't looked at it too much. I should probably record a video on that, actually. I will do that in a bit. We'll have a look at that card. Can I send the deck, please? Yeah, I can send it after this. Let's have it, guys. Let's win some games. First game of the day. Alright, we have the Maddock in hand. We don't want that. We have Portal. No Flappers. Double Greatsword with the Megascope. I don't want to hit the Fish Flappers. I have a pretty nice uninteractive hand. The problem is I don't have a Heat Wave or a Tool Punish. And our opponent's likely to go Dunker TA. So I would love this Heat Wave in my opening hand, I must admit. Kjalmar as well is going to be great in this deck with Greatswords. Obviously, risking hitting the Flappers. I'm going to risk it. Alright, we found a Moondust. Not exactly what I was hoping for. No surprises to see the Dunkers there. Have I considered Mork instead of Kjalmar? No, I haven't. I might be lacking a little bit of that Tool Punish against decks like Vi, for sure. I can see that. But Hjalmar is just fantastic in this deck with Greatswords. That flat removal. Added to that, Turgvi is another definite consideration. I'm just not a massive believer in Turgvi myself. I'm not playing a lock, and I don't like giving my opponent Purify. Having said that, it is important to remember I'm playing on ladder. I'm not playing in a tournament. I try and avoid Turgvi in tournament settings because it's pretty obvious that it's coming. Very obvious. I'm trying to avoid it at all costs. And this is again a problem with me not drawing my Heat Wave. Not ideal. But we're going to click the Maddock. We're going to put a Greatsword down. It's going to come in at 7 points. Beautiful. And then we can start Megascope. Well, we can just Megascope it. And this is going to be a straight up 10-point play. And it's not only 10 points. It's also somewhat uninteractive in a similar way to the Fish Flappers. Because if you damage this Greatsword down, it's just going to grow again. So it's very, very nice. Very similar to Portal Fish Flappers. They just are going to work in combination. Even though they're units on the board, you're like a Northern Realms guy that's got damage pings like ballistas and such. We can kind of wreck them a bit. Top 16 is going to be today. The official cast is tomorrow at 2 PM. It is coming home, mate. Southgate's just a legend. He just knows we don't want to win the group. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to play into this Dunker with the Megascope. But it is what it is, mate. Can't really do too much about it. Missed the heat wave. Okay, we definitely want to kill this thing. This is a great example of where red haze would be absolutely popping off. I know my chat knows it's my favourite phrase. If we damage this down, they can just tempering it, so we really do need to kill it. So basically, we would be looking at investing in leader charge, which I'm not convinced I want to do. Yeah, not convinced I want to be leader charging here. I could take the Gird here. It's not bad. Like, using a Moondust. This Gutting Slash is just looking pretty dodgy. Honestly, probably just going to put a red haze in the deck. But this is what it's all about, experimenting. Because here, I don't want to use a leader charge. I would love to get Maddock out. And I don't really want to use my Moondust because Purify value can play for a lot in this particular matchup. Let's go leader charge! Alright, never in doubt. Kill that. Seems worth it. Seems worth it. We high rolled. It was worth it if we high rolled. It wasn't worth it if we low rolled. But we high rolled. Hooray. And again, imagine our opponent's got some damage cards. We're just not asked. We do get the Moondust value here as well. Getting that Purify. Maddock ready to go. We're going to Gird next, unfortunately, because of this Adrenaline. But then we can go Gird. And then the same time we play the Greatsword, we can click the Maddock. Happy days. This is another example of why the Mardrome, as tempting as it is, imagine I had Mardrome in this hand, wouldn't really be what I'm looking for, right? I think it's fair to say. It'll be good in some situations, but it's also going to go very tall. You know, on the Quen it's okay, but Quen is a round 3 card. Do we really want to keep this 9-point Mardrome in hand? Probably not, I would say. Let's actually clean up the Maddock, which is a pretty reasonable play. We are forced to take the Gird. Now, obviously we've been playing into this Dunker as well, so our opponent's got an awful lot of carryover. And it is non-devotion, yeah, that's a good point. A lot of gift decks in the past are devotion. This one is a non-devotion one. It might be the Red Dream list. You guys would like to see me play this? Make sure you let me know in the comments. Guys, I'm recording for YouTube at the same time. It's definitely been a stinker that we haven't drawn our Tool Punishes. This Dun could have been cleaned up, but we're going to go for the Portal. It's quite a commitment at this point, but it's going to thin the deck as well, improve the draws, find things like Heat Wave. Our opponent's still going as well. Bear in mind, in their hand, they're going to have cards which are very, very hand buffed indeed. If there's a way we can get ahead here, we should absolutely go for it. They're going to be gaining 4 points here in 2 turns. 2 points. They're at 52. I'm at 42, so I need a 10-point play. I think we're just going to go for the Quen here, honestly. Kind of like it. I like it a lot. So we could hit the... No. I was going to make a comment, a completely irrelevant comment about Junod by hitting Elias, but I don't have Junod, so it's irrelevant. So they can't pass here, which is great. We're going to go for a Bear Witcher from the Kadooch. Bear Witcher's only going to be 8 tempo, whereas the Greatsword double leader charge is more. I do need it. They're getting 2 points. They're at 53. I'm at 47 at the moment. So a Bear Witcher plays for 8. 47. Hello. 44. Bear Witcher plays for 8. So I'm at 52. So we could go Bear Witcher 1 leader charge here. Which I think is worth doing.
Need a hand? Just chop one off.
So I've got 7 points. I'm at 49. 1 leader charge gets me ahead. We know their last card is massively hand buffed, right?
No, damn it!
I could have also gone for the Greatsword there. Would have been enough by 1. It's like the Forest Protector, which is chilling at 11. So this round did not go to plan. Alright, let's be honest. It didn't. They had a Dunker down the whole round. We spent an awful lot, but we forced a hand buff card out of them. We did get Elias. We got the Forest Protector. Yeah. Bad first round, but we didn't have the right cards. Okay, we need a good dry pass card, which honestly could be easier said than done. Maxi is really the only one we're looking at too much. We're actually getting pushed. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. I'm going to go Bear Witcher and Leader. This Greatsword's looking very suspect. Probably should have kept the D-Bomb instead. Let's be honest. And this is what you need to be careful of with the Greatswords. As good as they are on paper, without a leader, pretty bad. But we have the Greatswords also in the graveyard for our Hjalmar. Fortunately, our opponent does some weird push here where we trade a Bear Witcher, 5 provision card and a leader charge each. This is just a very, very bad decision from our opponent. We find the Heat Wave. So the Greatsword with Maddock comes in at 7, which is a point more than Maxi. So let's do that. Lose the Gutting Slash. We find some proactivity, which is great. We missed the Junod, the Avalak, so we drew pretty badly considering we hit Portal round 1. Missing 2 big cards. We saw these 3 cards, right? The 2 cards we didn't see were Junod and Avalak, but again, Junod looking a bit dodgy with the fact that I'm investing needed charges with Greatsword, so maybe the Junod is a card that we should consider replacing. Maybe we could improve some of the other cards to lower provision cost. Okay, we have the Maddock now, which we're gonna, when we put our Greatsword down, we'll want to click. I'm just going to Hjalmar this. There's no real threat of Gezras. And they just forfeit. Alright, let's go. That went well, I would say. Definitely seemed a little bit like we might need to just revisit some of the card choices in the deck. You're paying a lot of provisions for that warrior tag. You can play, if you want to play Hemdall, you should play Patch Tidal Fury. It's not the meta for it. In a meta where there's an abundance of wide decks like Arachastorm, Congregate, maybe. It's not the meta for it. I would play a different leader too. This is a control deck. I'm going to be killing a lot of things. The Hemdall's just not going to be worth it. Alright, we're going first. We have the Portal. Guys, we have the Bear Witcher Enchanted Armor combo of dreams. Let's go. We have a couple of bombs to thin the Maddock. We also have a Gutting Slash. Maybe we ditch a Greatsword here. Seems a bit awkward. Okay, fortunately we didn't hit the... We could have bricked there, right? It was risky. Look at this energy, though. Look at this energy. We've got the Enchanted Armor on the Bear Witcher. We've got the Portal Fish Flappers. Our opponent is going to be completely shook. Like, we've already won the game. How can we lose?
I like to improvise.
Could have done with the front row spawn from the Maddock here, I must confess. Because we do want our Greatsword Megascope. Wow. Okay, that is a weird one. Not quite sure how to respond. I don't want a Heat Wave. I'm going to have Hjalmar for the second time the Defender comes in. But I do need the Heat Wave. This is the problem with maybe not playing another Tool Punish. A card like a Morkvarg, a card like a Axie. So I would definitely consider playing that if you're wanting to be better into Cloggers, which I probably should be. Like, I could see cutting the Avalak. I could see cutting the Junod as well, maybe. Probably the Junod, honestly. I think Junod's got to go, guys. In this meta, where I want to be good into this. Leader and Gutting Slash. Let's do this. That's really unfortunate that we killed the Cyana. The good news is, if we can get through this with Hjalmar later on, because we're going to have this Greatsword in the graveyard. And we've got a lot of points here still. They're going to slam the leader. No Snowdrop even here yet. Does seem like a Renew Colgrim pile. Which fortunately, like Hjalmar's going to... Look at the Fish Flappers, guys. Even if they hit the Greatsword, it's still like going to get more value later on. Okay, we put it in Coated Weapons range. It would have been pretty bad. But Maddock's doing the same thing. We've just got lots of things that are just eating random damage and things like that. And this is playing straight into the Gird that I don't even have in my hand. This guy just not respecting the Gird at all. Hate to see it. But this again is what Maddock and Gird do in the same deck together. They just work in unison. They apply a lot of pressure. They just put in absolute work, mate. Right, we've got 10 points flying out of the deck. Oh yeah, we have Moondust as well for the Defender later on. That's a very good point. So the Defender later on isn't actually much of a concern at all. Okay, they're going to copy fish flappers. I love fish flappers, mate. This is great. We do actually have a pass if we're interested in taking it. All my plays here look pretty weak, I must say. Yeah, seems like a pretty reasonable pass. 10 points flying out of the deck. Let's pass. Happy days. So we took the round. We thinned the deck by 3 cards with Maddock, the fish flappers, and we played a single greatsword, and we competed with Defender, Full Leader, Vigo, and a flipping Mage Assassin even thrown in there. So we've been clogged. Obviously sucks. But, yeah. We have the answers. We've got the Moon Dust, which is the Purify bomb. They shouldn't go Alchemist here. They do just go for a Viper Witcher. They're probably just going to give us another Fish Flapper. Mate, give me more Fish Flappers. I'm happy for more Fish Flappers. Always. My Fish Flappers will heal here. But, of course, they're going to pass. Feeling pretty good about how this went, I have to say. Fish flappers for days. This is great. It's like Christmas. Look, we've got a flipping... Look at this guy. This is amazing. We are, of course, probably not going to draw the cards we need, and we're just going to lose because, you know, Cloggers is a very, 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 very fun deck to play against. Cap, why does it exist? Please. Anybody know? Does anybody know? I don't think anybody likes this, right? I mean, people play it, so I guess they do. But... Alright, let's do that. We could have gone for a bomb. Be fair. And then maybe got the 6 damage on this. Maybe a bomb was just a better play here. They're going to take Renew on Defender now. Holy moly. Yeah, we could be in trouble here. Just because I don't have the answers. Right, let's just kill this. Nice. Maddox spawning in the correct row is great to see. We could have slammed leader again, to be fair. And just guaranteed damage on the Fion. Probably should have, on reflection. It was probably a troll decision not to. But this is another place where Maddox is just putting in a lot of work, right? Eating the random damage, applying pressure. But yeah, certainly, probably going to regret not taking that leader here. Probably, certainly. Right English. That's really unfortunate. Holy shit. So yeah, I kind of threw pretty hard here by not taking this leader earlier. Good news is we can still kill it with a Bear Witcher. But we need to make sure we can get through it before Letho comes in, right? Which I'm not convinced we can. We need to heatwave this Colgrim as soon as possible. And if they're to play Letho, we're just in trouble, right? We're just in trouble. If they Letho the defender now, so kind of throwing the game, unfortunately. This is, obviously, we low roll pretty hard to... Wait.
Monsters. No, a goat will suffice for now.
Inside now.
Fortunately, doesn't look like they're playing the Letho yet, which I'm pretty sure they should have played the Letho on the defender here. They didn't go for it. Look at this Chad. Oh! It's pure sauce. Playing for 11 while only dealing 1 damage. Not bad at all. Obviously, we do pay a price for that in the fact that we played a 0-point stratagem in round 1. Made the round 1 easier for our opponent, but it's just pretty funny, isn't it, really? They're just going for the ultimate Clog. Honestly, like, the Geonod is not popping off here. The Megascope is going to be, like, at worst a 6 on Totem. There's an argument to actually play the Geonod. Because we've used Full Leader. They've played the Renew. We're just winning the game. We have the Heatwave ready to go. Just over, mate. Fortunately. Despite having the world's most clogged deck. We drew the Heatwave. Great game of Gwent this it was. All came down to if I drew the Heatwave in my opening hand or if I was clogged too much. I hate Cloggers, man. Stupid deck. Very stupid deck. I'm gonna BM because I hate it so much. Okay, we just have to hope that our deck full of flappers is enough. Probably, honestly, again, should have taken the Geonod instead of this thingamajig. But look at this hand, guys! This is brilliant. Oh! It's like Christmas. Uh-oh. This is bad too. We've had a bit of a stinker. Honestly, the handful of flappers was probably better than this. Uh-oh. I'm nervous. Didn't make too much. Basically, my reason for going for this first was coated weapons, right? I want this to get coated, not these, because these will actually grow above. This isn't getting any bigger. It's not a great start for us. This is not looking good, guys. We might still lose. We might just still lose here. My hand's so bad because cloggers is fun. Yay. So yeah, again, last round I could add a 10-point megascope or a 7-point at worst. But instead I got a 6-point Junod, so that was a bad decision. I also could have had fish flappers at 7 points. I guess I would have been playing my... Yeah. I would have opened with a flapper, right? So I could have had 3 more points here. So we've wasted 4 points here, 3 points here. Looks like we're losing still because Cloggers is just a very well designed deck. Kappa! God, I hate it so much. Why does it exist? This guy got completely countered and still might win. Hello? They're going to use it on Letho. 5 points, I guess. 10 points, sorry. Don't think we've got enough. I think we're just about losing. It's going to be close. Yeah, we lose. Hooray. Very fun game. Top quality gameplay. Really fun. Cut Junod? Yeah, I think you're right. We should cut Junod.
Speak up. I can barely hear over the sound of you drowning.
Nah, I'm gonna play with... I'm still playing this still. I still want to play the game. It's just games like that. It's just... My point is, it's terrible for the game. People don't like this shit. It's horrible to play. I fucking hate it, mate. So other people will feel the same. Not just me. Right, Hyama is not around 1 card, so we can kick him, because I actually want to have a pretty playable hand. Greatsword's nice for the Megascope. Let's not break any of our cards here. Thanks, mascot. Right, we've got the big portal flappers energy. Nice. We've got the moon dust of dreams. Yep. This is where, like, again, Gerd's going to come in. Like, it's going to be row stacking. Obviously, it would be anyway, but probably should have taken a leader charge to kill the lava here. Probably a misplay. Yeah, I never used to get mad at Gwent, but I do get mad at Gwent quite a lot now, I must admit. Maybe that's because I've been playing it for a longer period of time, but I think it's mainly just because, yeah. It's pretty annoying I didn't take a leader charge to kill this lava. It's also annoying my Maddox spawned in the wrong row. Played out and logged off. Mate, that's what I'm saying. Bad for the game. That is what it gives you. It does give you that feeling of what is the point. I'm glad it's not just me that feels like this. I'm going to continue playing because I bloody love the game. But yeah, I've been logging off Gwent a lot recently. I've just been like, yeah, this isn't for me today. I never used to get mad playing Gwent, but as I say, recently I have been getting quite mad. Alright, we're at 25, exactly. I have 10 points coming out the deck, but let's not forget this greatsword as well is gonna be getting buffed. We could invest the leader's charge here. It means that the pig won't proc Sabbath. I like it. Hit some extra damage onto this and also puts my greatsword in at 10! Look at the value, mate! Look at that play. We hit the Ratcatcher S down. We play around the simple pig into Sabbath, and then bang, look. Portal Fish Flappers, we've got Gerd, we've got the Great Swords, we've got the Maddox. What a board state. And, guys, look. Who needs a stratagem for points when you've got this amount of big energy? Let's play a 5-point carryover stratagem. Hello? This is fantastic. This is brilliant, guys. This is epic. Alright. And now we just go to a long round against... What are they going to do? What's Koshi going to do in a long round? They're going to overswarm, guys. They don't even have flipping she who knows, mate. Who knows? Who knows, who knows, who knows? Alright, Max is great on the dry pass here. We can kick the Northern Wind and the D-Bomb. Maxi on the dry pass. Make sure we get our Hjalmar, our Avalak, our Kadooch. We can put a Bear Witcher on the bottom if we need to shuffle. Yeah, we're just going to shuffle. Even though I'm going to find the Kadooch and Avalak, I want the Hjalmar. Bear Witcher on the bottom because we want to cheer with Gwen every time. That's also my concern about kicking Jinod. Like, we're not playing land, but we're a little bit low on the old Witcher front. We can't play the Flappers off Gwen because they're from Portal. Play one Bear Witcher, we can play Jinod. That's basically it. I'm not in a new place. I've just moved my room around. Do we know the starting out for the tournament? I don't. I can find out, though.
Wouldn't touch a hair on my head, she said.
Gonna be casting with Spyro, I think, by the sounds of it. Gonna just join a call with Spyro. I don't know if he wants to, but I've asked him. He said we could. He goes, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea. That sounds like a really fun time." He said we could. In other words, I don't think I want to, but sure. All right, we need Avalak, guys. Having said that, I don't really want to ditch my D-Bomb. 10-point Megascope. D-Bomb's got to go, blood. Get in there. Full gold hand. Maxi is a woman. Not wrong, she is. I wasn't being completely serious, though. It was just a bit of a meme. Right, let's get that Avalak popping off. Pyre's going to be streaming. I've asked him if he minds rebroadcast, if I can rebroadcast. He's playing against Wanged, guys. We're going to be doing Pyreball versus Wanged. Well, he hasn't said yes. He said, yeah, cool. Yep. Pyreball versus Wanged. Guys, can we change the title to Pyreball versus Wanged? Because that's a great title if ever I've seen one. Oh, we've even got the flipping Maddock now. Let's go. This is just over. We can look at the decks after this, guys. I've got the decks. I have the decks. I have the decks. I have the decks. I can't share the bracket with you because they're not, I don't think, supposed to. I can check. Yeah, I'll share my deck off this game, sure. Alright. Not sure we're going to get much of a better Geonod than this. Just do that. I want to play my Greatsword at the same time I use my Maddock. I want to save my leader charges for when the lavas are on. I have to Geonod Koshi. Right. Sounds like a good plan. Teleportation? What the flipping heck is that, mate? Oh! Ooh! Let's get a 7-point Greatsword. And this is where Maddock is just shining above the rest. Why he's just about worth it. Just about worth it. Playing a Greatsword in at 7 is just good. Don't have to invest leader charges if this is round 1. How many bombs is too much? I don't know. There's not really too much. 4 is the minimum, usually. I have played like one Maddock deck where I had 3 bombs, but it was a traps deck, I think. And I was playing an absolute ton of traps, right? And that didn't feel like I had enough bombs, but I could kind of justify it. Too much? I mean, I wouldn't really... Like, double Maddock, I play like 7. I wouldn't really go above 7. But yeah, we've got the 10-point Megascope for 4 provisions. Pretty good. We do have a bit of an awkward turn here, where I guess I'm just going to take the Hjalmar or the Heatwave for my Bear Witcher. Bear Witcher Adrenaline is activated. We could also just go for a Kadooch on something different. Raise my daughters! Kind of don't... Geonod on this is going to be so tempting though, holy moly. Let me just take the Heatwave. Not going to get a better one. We do have 10 points in the graveyard for our Hjalmar. Hjalmar feels great with the Greatswords. As chat keeps telling me reliably, Geonod on Koshi is the way. But I can also just probably kill it with leader, right? It's going to be, what, 2 strength? There's a good chance I can just kill it with leader now. So I could... I'm just believing! Easy game. What a game. What an easy game. Ooh, god! My boy! We just high rolled the hell out of this guy. What the hell? The perfect leader charges. We hit 2 on the lava, 2 on the Koshji, 1 on the She Who Knows. Ah! What a gamer I am. Yeah, I'm the man. Here comes the leader. We're going to take a trusty Hjalmar onto the Koshji. Get absolutely removed. And we've still got triple Bear Witcher, 1 with Gwent, 1 with Kadooch, and 1 with a flipping enchanted armor. We have to make sure we play this before our opponent forfeits. That's very important, guys. We have to play this before our opponent can forfeit. Okay? We have to. It's crucial. Here we go! And now our opponent knows we're the man. They're like, what the hell? How is this? And then they realise we play enchanted flipping armor, mate. We're going to go Kadooch, and then we're going to finish off with our Bear Witcher that we put on the bottom of the deck with Maxi. Renew? What the hell? Renew. 8 damage on this. Getting the... Oh, this is a misplay. Guys, I misplayed. I wasted 2 points. Oops. Nobody saw that, right? And then finally, we're going to finish this video with a big fat Quen. Honestly, we could probably just discard our last card and we still win. Let's go, baby! What a deck. Alright, so what are we thinking about the deck? How can we improve it? I mean, I feel like we may be leaning towards Junod going out. Or some more consistent ways of dealing with cloggers. Maybe, like just another tool punish. But it's pretty solid. I like it. We could play like an Axie for the cloggers matchup, right? But Axie's kind of like a wet noodle to me. Yeah, like you might want to consider playing Axie. Again, Ragnarok, pretty good card. You might want to play. Turgvi, also decent. Not helping against cloggers particularly though. Also, you might want to just play around with the 4s. Play a Mardrome. You might want to play some of the weather cards for a bit of fun. Rain in particular makes sense. You could play Tears of Siren. I would honestly probably just stay Torrential Rain. A Mardrome's decent. You could play single Spores as well. That's going to help your cloggers matchup, I would say. And yeah, that would be my recommendations. I wouldn't do too much else. You could experiment with Nomadic as well. If you're going Nomadic, I would definitely play the Ragnarok as a way of getting these great swords in at like 7 strength before they can be removed. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like it if you did. And subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Make sure you let me know what decks you want me to play, because I'm all ears. Cool. See you soon.